Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Hey, on this video I'm going to get back on the YJ2. We're going to do the set the timing and just do some electrical kind of spiffying up here and there. Check all the functions, the headlight, the horn, tail light, the brake light, everything that it is supposed to be able to do. We're going to check that, and we're going to adjust, if we need to, the cables, for the throttle and the oil pump positioning and the carburetor. So all the things that we need to do kind of for a tune-up. I think I'm even going to run a timing light on it, just so you can see you can do it either way. So let's get over here and get started on that. Okay, I wanted to show you something that I ran across the other night when I had this running. I was doing the wiring and got all the headlight and everything hooked up. And as I was running the engine, see, it sounds great here. But what I found was when I turned the headlights on, it starts like cutting out. All I'm doing is holding the throttle on. We turn the headlight off. And it's fine again. Okay, what that tells me, and it's just indicative of the points being too wide. So we're going to go into the cover over there and do our timing and all that stuff, and we're gonna hook the dial indicator up so that we can see what it is before we do anything to it. And I just about guarantee that's the way it is on these 6-volt systems like this. If your timing is out like that, it'll run great until you turn, or well, it won't run great, but it will run okay until you turn the lights on, and it just doesn't have what it takes to fire anymore, so you start missing. So let's get over there and investigate, but I think that's what we're going to find. Okay guys, I was taking this footrest off for the umpteenth time, and remember I said, well, if I need to put this other bolt in for the kickstand, I could do it. Well, after I scraped all the mud off, I found it already there. So what I'm going to do here is run a tap through it, I think, to clean it out. I think it's a captive nut there. Yeah, I think so. I just couldn't even see it there for all the caked on grease and mud. Yeah, oh yeah, looks good to me. So I guess we'll be putting one in there. I think it'd be okay, but that's probably why it's there, is because it, to keep it from rotating, even though the bracket on the footrest kind of locks into this area right here. Yeah, we'll put it in. And we'll go ahead and get this cover off, and then we'll get to the points. Okay, not sure whether you're going to be able to see it. I've got the points open, I believe, to the widest spot. Yeah. And they look awful wide to me. They really do. I've got to get you kind of over a little bit. And I've got a 35. That's the biggest 35 thousandths on here that I have on the whole thing. And 35 won't go in it. So let's see. It's not going to be much less than that though. Let me see if a 30 will go. It's really wide. Should be about 12 to 14. 30 won't go either. So maybe it's not quite as bad as I thought. There's a 21. Yeah, 21 goes right in there. Okay. Now, before we do anything to that, I'm going to put the dial indicator in so you can see a little better. I just don't know whether you're going to be able to pick up that little point that close. These GoPros just aren't all that great for up close work. So let's get over here and get our plug pulled. And get our dial indicator in. Yeah, I've seen this before, and a lot of people, and me included, will chase all kinds of wiring and that not be the problem. Okay, let me get this dial indicator adjusted so you can see it a little better. Okay, well, take a look at the book here. We've got the YJ2 here, and over on this side they've got the YF1K and YJ2, and they're calling for high speed time. I think this is a performance setting, so you're wanting to be a little more advanced on your timing. And it looks like here normally they're calling for 2 millimeters before top dead center. And if you go to the speed time, they're saying 1.8. And there's a plus or minus of 0.15. This is all millimeters, I believe. They're calling for the point gap down here to be 2 to 9.4 millimeters. That doesn't seem quite right to me. I think it should be more like 0.2 to 0.35 or something like that. Actually, let's go back to the procedure. Let me find that real quick. Okay. Okay, we've got the set the points as they open, and it's 2 to plus or minus 0.51 millimeter for top dead center. That's what we saw on the other for the standard setting. And then they say point gap at 12 to 14 thousandths. Yeah, and 0.03 to 0.35 millimeter. Okay, at top dead center. Okay, so that's what it is, at top dead center. Use dial indicator. Okay, so we're gonna see what it is now, but we're looking for 2.0 at before top dead center. Before top dead center. So let me get this out of the way. And I am going to hook my buzz box up here. Okay, number one, we've got to get a wire from down there. I believe it's this black one right here. Okay, the black wire I believe is the one we want. So I'm going to hook my red lead to the black wire coming out. And then the black lead to engine ground here. Okay. Okay, as you can see here, this is a little arrow right here. And right here at the bottom, it's kind of pointing that way. So this is the direction of engine rotation. Okay, so we're going to turn that this way until our dial indicator reads top dead center. Okay, right there. Now I'm going to turn it back the other way until we get to 2. It's 1. Oh, wait a minute. We're not going the right way here, are we? Let me continue around here. Yeah, okay. So there's top dead center. Now, turn it back the other way. And we still weren't quite there, were we? Okay. Top dead center. Now we turn it back the other way. There's 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta get my buzz box on. Let me get that on. There's 1, 2. That's what the timing should be. 3. I run out. There it is. Shut off. I ran out here, but it's probably down around 3.5 on our timing. So it's way out. So those points are way too wide. Okay, let's go ahead and get that flywheel off. And let's see. See if I get the right flywheel puller out here. I believe so, yeah. That's pretty common. Same as like the CT1 and whatnot. Okay. Right off. And these are left-hand thread, by the way. I'm sure most of you know that. Okay. Thing looks really nice in here. It's This is a factory. The condenser's never been changed. Oh boy. And I doubt if the points has either. They're in pretty rough shape. I don't have any. I was kind of thinking they might be the same as Enduro, but they're not. I bet these are this engine designed pretty much by itself. Okay, so let me get my point file out here and we'll try to clean those up a bit. Yeah, they're pretty rough. Never been changed, I'm sure of it. Okay, that looks okay. So we'll, let me get my lube. Okay, this is cam lube. This is what I use for cars. This has been in my toolbox since I was a auto mechanic and a motorcycle mechanic in the 70s. I'm going to put a little bit of this lube on the point felt here. Kind of work it in. And I'm just going to take my screwdriver here and kind of fluff up that thing a little bit so that it will be more apt to touch the lobe on the flywheel. Okay, I'll have to take this back off because I don't have points for it, and we'll when I get those I'll take care of that. Okay, went right back on. Now, if you're using something like this, always make sure that it's not going to go into the flywheel too far and get into your coils. These are good. They're not going. That's not going to happen with these. All right. Okay. Okay, first thing we're going to do is try to get us to our widest point gap, which appears to be right there. The point gap, according to the book, should be 12 to 14 thousandths, and that's 0.30 to 0.35 millimeter. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, it may be actually a little bit less than 12. Let's try it. It's real close. When you're doing this, you always want to go to the smaller amount because your points will wear, and that way they'll be within spec longer if you start at the lowest one. Okay, so I've got that there. We've got it set, it's probably 11.5 or something like that. Okay, there's our top dead center. Now we're going to rotate this back. Yep, let me get the buzz box on. We're going to go back the other way. There's one. Oops, yeah, see, it's a little bit close. We're almost at that high speed tuning though. Okay, let me fiddle with this a little bit, try to get a little closer than that. Okay, now let's try it. Okay, there's top dead center. Go back the other way. There's one. Let me get back around to top dead center there. Thought I was a little closer than that. Okay. There's one, two. Okay, so that's close enough. That's certainly within our specs. Oh man, it's noisy. Okay, note that we're on our, where our points was breaking. Now let's look up here on the flywheel. I think you can see you get a line right here and a line right here. So we're lined up. Now you can do this with a timing light also, but you've got those marks on this bike anyway. Most of the older ones had them, and you can use the timing light also. Okay, let's see what this thing does now that we've got the points where they ought to be. That sounds a lot more responsive. Let me go to the headlight. There you go, that's just the way it is. Okay guys, thank you very much. All right, get the key on and choke on. There you go. Okay, I'm going to double check our timing now with the timing light. Get you back on the stand here. I've just got a 12-volt battery down here. This is my 12-volt car timing light. Just need something to power it. And inductive tip, so we'll put this toward the plug. just almost lined up there. I hope you can see that. Let me see if I can get you stationary. It lines up when you get up there, I don't know, probably 1500 RPM. Okay, while we're down here, we'll go ahead and check our charging. Ground it there, and I'll be taking my reading off the rectifier there. Go to nighttime. I think you can see the backlight lighting, neutral lights on, of course. The flasher, we don't have flashers. And remember, I got this off of a YL100, so we don't have the charge light. They would be a 12 volt. Switch it over. Okay, it kind of sounds pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and get the side cover on. Then we'll go over and see what we can do with cables and adjustments. And here's our other bolt hole here that we didn't even know about. That ought to hold her good. Okay guys, I did get a shifter for it, but I'm not going to put this one on. I just never really liked those. So I'm going to go ahead and use the one I had for a CT1. I'm just going to stick it on there. I just never liked the heel shifter. Thank you. Okay, next thing we need to do, we've already set our idle at about 1,000 to 1,200, something like that. And it sounds pretty good to me anyhow. And then the first thing they want you to do is make sure you don't have more than about 1/16 of an inch. And I think we're good. I've already pulled that out. So your throttle cable is 1/16 or less. And then they want you to turn this wheel down here until you get this gap right here. And for this model, it says about 9.5 thousandths plus or minus 8 10 thousandths. Okay, this particular one is right at 9. So it's good. Good right where it is. Now, let's see here. Okay, you would add or remove shims up here. Boy, that one's got a nice thick one on it. Usually they're thinner than that, but well, that's probably the top of the, yeah, it is. It's the top of the pulley. So it may not have a shim, but if you need to increase or decrease, you would either remove or add shims right here. But we're good. And they want you to adjust the cable in relation to the throttle opening. And on this particular model, we've got a little dot on the slide right here. I'm hoping you can see that. Sometimes you can't with all this light. Let me get just a regular flashlight. You can see, I hope. The little dot right in the middle. Okay. And they want you to raise the slide until the top of the dot hits the carburetor right there. And that's supposed to be half throttle. Okay. Okay, now I got to get it back up there. Right there. Okay, then they want you to look and see if this pin is lined up with the little arrow on the pulley. So now you can probably see it on the pulley. And if it is, you are good. Okay. So that should do it. That should do it. If you've got the dot touching the top of it and it doesn't line up, then you'll adjust the cable right here. But we're all good. I think we probably did most of this when we first set the machine up to run. Yeah, so it looks pretty good. Or at least did a good wag at it. Okay, we're gonna fire it up again. Responsive than it was. Looks like I've got to adjust my brake light. There we go. Thing really sounds tight to me. I don't hear any piston slap at all. It's really running a lot better than it was when those with the points so wide. Everything is working on it, I do believe. Horn's kind of iffy. Clutch feels good. Yet to try it. Got to do quite a bit of stretching to get that on. Okay, one last fire up. Sure sounds tight. Okay guys, there you have it. I think this one's ready for the road. I did notice something though that I'm going to check on. Seems like this brake pedal is a little high. It was probably bent. Matter of fact, we bent it a little bit trying to get it to work right. So I think I'm going to have to bend it down here a little bit further down just to where it's about level with this. but not back here. This is good at the stop. Anyhow, I think we're ready to take it out and see if we can do anything with it. See if it'll run, see if it'll shift, see how well it runs. So that's all for another video. But right now, I think the YJ2 is just about ready to hit the road. Hit the road, Jack. Okay guys, there you have it. I think we're ready to go. Just a little adjustment on that brake pedal and I think it'll be roadworthy. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.